Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. Hope you're doing well. I don't know how much you've been keeping up, but last night, the US and Iran got into it again. Now, Donald Trump attacked Iran because one of their drones took down an Apache helicopter. Well, Iran retaliated by hitting 3 US bases last night. So bad that the military had to be evacuated by helicopter. They had to get out of there. So I wish they would just get them out of that region. You done lost damn near most of the bases, and I don't know why you still got those folks there. They need to be moved out of there, and the food situation still didn't get better. So it is just one big old mess. So you're about to see what happened last night in Iran, and the missiles were flying everywhere. I don't believe this war is going to ever end, y'all. I really don't. I don't see it ending. All right. So let me share my screen. All right. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Yeah, Babylon is in a lot of trouble. Plus, they done took on an opponent that they can't defeat. Thank you, everybody.
Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps say that they launched powerful retaliatory strikes at U.S. military bases in the Middle Eastern region. The Iranians say that they launched aerial attacks against bases in Jordan, Kuwait, as well as the headquarters of the Fifth Fleet in Bahrain, using drones, but also powerful ballistic missiles. All this comes after the United States struck areas in the Persian Gulf. The Iranians are saying that that is a violation of their sovereignty, and they are also saying that it is a pretext that the U.S. is using. Now, all of this, of course, comes after a U.S. chopper was downed near the Strait of Hormuz, the United States saying that it was hit by an Iranian drone and that it holds Iran responsible for that. In the overnight hours, there were explosions that could be heard, according to sources, in places like Bandar Abbas, but also on an island near the Persian Gulf. The U.S. saying that it struck radar installations and surface-to-air missile batteries. But the Iranians are saying that a water desalination plant was also struck, knocking out drinking water in parts of that region. Now, of course, all of this comes as the situation in the Persian Gulf and specifically in the Strait of Hormuz remains extremely volatile, with the US and Iran trading blows in that area over the past couple of days. But also, as Iran and the United States are still trying to find a way to reach a memorandum of understanding that would end the hostilities between the two countries and then pave the way for broader peace negotiations.
Iran has just launched missiles at U.S. bases. 6 missiles reportedly fired at a base in Qatar. That's the largest U.S. military base in the Middle East, and more aimed at a base in Iraq. Explosions were heard over Doha, air raid sirens, interceptors scrambling. The United States Embassy literally told Americans to shelter in place. Airspace is absolutely closed. This isn't a drill. This is a credible escalation. Iran is officially retaliating for Trump's massive airstrike on their nuclear facilities. And while some of those missiles were shot down, this sends one very clear message. We are in it now. It's now U.S. troops, U.S. bases, U.S. citizens directly in the line of fire. And if Iran thinks Trump is going to back down after this, they clearly haven't been paying attention. We're watching history unfold in real time. Buckle up, because the next move, well, it's Trump's.
While you were sleeping, 3 bases got hit. Last night, Iran launched drone and missile strikes on U.S. Fifth Fleet in Bahrain, air bases in Kuwait, and another air base in Jordan. Air raid sirens went off in both Iran and Kuwait. Iran says it hit 21 targets and destroyed 4 of them, one of which was an F-35 hangar. This is retaliation. Monday night, a US Apache helicopter went down over the Straits of Hormuz. Both pilots survived. Trump blamed Iran, and within hours, the US hit Iranian ports and islands. Iran hit back the same night. No waiting, no warnings, immediate. And that's the part that nobody's talking about. Iran just shifted what analysts are calling a swift retaliation doctrine. They sometimes used to wait days, weeks, and now the response was within hours. That changes the entire calculus of the conflict. Remember, Trump said 3 days ago he was in the final throes of a peace deal. The ceasefire from April is now effectively dead. Iran and Israel exchanged strikes over the weekend. Now Iran is hitting U.S. bases directly. We are watching this escalate in real time. And here's what I need you to understand. The World Cup starts tomorrow on U.S. soil while we have active military engagements in 3 countries and a collapsing ceasefire. Pay attention. Share this. I'll keep you posted.
The soldiers were transported from hostile waters to a safer place before being hoisted up by helicopter. In another first, we've learned the helicopter was downed by an Iranian exploding drone, an unprecedented strike on an advanced U.S. aircraft. In retaliation, U.S. officials tell CBS News that U.S. Navy and Air Force fighter jets launched widespread airstrikes against Iranian targets along the Strait of Hormuz, including air defenses, ground control stations, and surveillance radar sites. U.S. Central Command sent out a statement that its forces completed self-defense strikes, suggesting the proportional U.S. military response is over, at least for now. Iran, in turn, launched its own retaliatory strikes, sending a salvo of ballistic missiles towards U.S. facilities across the region. Jordan alone reported shooting down 5 missiles aimed at an airbase hosting American forces. Tehran's foreign minister, Abbas Araghchi, warning on social media, quote, "Despite its defeats on the battlefield, the U.S. opted to test our determination. Leave our region if you want to be safe."
IRGC released an official statement tonight, and it is detailed. Here is what they said word for word. The IRGC said it launched drone attacks on the U.S. Fifth Fleet in Bahrain and the Ali Al Salem Air Base in Kuwait, as well as a long-range missile strike on an air base in Azraq, Jordan. It said it attacked 21 U.S. targets and destroyed 4 of them, including an F-35 fighter jet hangar at the base in Jordan. 21 targets, 3 countries, 1 night. That is not a symbolic strike. That is a coordinated military operation. The IRGC also claimed to have shot down a U.S. MQ-9 drone in the skies over the Iranian city of Jam.
Iran has just launched powerful retaliatory strikes against the United States military interests in the Middle East following United States strikes against Iranian interests in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran struck American military interests in Bahrain, in Jordan, and Kuwait. We're getting the following statement right now from Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Here's the statement that they just published. The IRGC Navy has completed an operation against 21 targets at American air and naval bases across the Middle East, the IRGC says, including the U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet headquarters in Bahrain and an air base in Jordan. The operation, which they claim was carried out using drones and long-range missiles, targeted and destroyed 4 important targets at these bases, including a command center and several hangars for F-35 Lightnings in Jordan. They're claiming that they successfully hit these military bases. Now, we can see some of the images right here and some of the video that's coming out. For example, here, this is some video from Bahrain where you can see multiple Iranian ballistic missiles. Look at the arrow that we have right there. Multiple Iranian ballistic missile interceptions, but also ground level explosions right there in Manama in Bahrain minutes ago. That location right there in Bahrain is in the direction of the U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet headquarters at the Salman port. If you take a look at where that arrow is right there. Also, Iran's IRGC says it attacked the air base in Jordan with a salvo of medium-range ballistic missiles. This base serves as a major staging point for the United States Air Force forces in the region, and Iran claims that they successfully struck American interests over there. You can see some of the Patriot SAM systems engaging incoming Iranian ballistic missiles over Bahrain this morning right here. You can then see over here the ballistic missiles that Iran launched targeting the vicinity of Amman, Jordan. You can see the air defense activity right there. Also, the IRGC is claiming that it struck down at least one additional MQ-9 Reaper moments ago over Jam County in the Bushehr province of southern Iran. That brings the total MQ-9 Reapers that Iran has recently destroyed belonging to the United States. Somewhere between 31 and 40 MQ-9 Reapers were destroyed. Now, you know the series of events that took place today. The United States accusing Iran of using a Shahid drone to shoot down an Apache helicopter that was loitering over the Strait of Hormuz. Iran denies that it sent a Shahid drone to shoot down this Apache. Iran's foreign minister, Araghchi, did say, look, there's a lot of activity happening now over the Strait of Hormuz. And so if you want to avoid having your Apaches get shot down, you probably shouldn't have them over the Strait of Hormuz, loitering and harassing Iran.
Okay, so as you can clearly see, the fight is back on, y'all. They can keep talking peace and ceasefire. And, Iran has made it very clear that if the U.S. strike on them, they're going to strike back. If Israel strike on them, they're going to strike back. They don't care about all this stuff Donald Trump is babbling about. It seems like every time they fight back and get the upper hand, Donald Trump want to always jump up talking about peace talks and ceasefire. Yeah, because they're whipping your ass. That's why. So, ladies and gentlemen, in all honesty, I don't think there'll ever be any peace. I really don't. It has been multiple ramblings of peace talks and ceasefires, and it never holds. It never, ever holds at all. And I don't think it ever will. I don't think this fight will ever end. So, y'all, we will see what happens. I'll certainly keep my eye on things, but I'm just telling you, I think this is going to be ongoing and long term. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Thank you so much for being here. I do got one more live coming up. I just got to get it posted. So, y'all have a wonderful afternoon and be on the lookout for my next live. Shalom, family.